Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Convention with the Weekly Comic Roundup. We made it through everything else. We're wrapping things up with, well, more Batman books. I know. One video last night that was Bat books, but well, turns out there were more. So let's get started. Kicking things off, we've got Batman vs. Robin #4. It's a holdover from a couple weeks ago. Where we left off, Batman had dealt with the Gauntlet of Robins. Dick, Jason, Tim, and Stephanie. It had been set up by Damian, so Damian wasn't involved. Yes, Damian's kind of the final boss on that one. And the Devil Neja was growing more and more powerful. So as we open, we learn a bit more about the Lazarus pits. The Devil Neja's father created them specifically for Neja. The resins have flowed through his blood for over 3,000 years, in fact. But basically, with all of there's magic focused there, and eventually into him. Well, he's going to have basically he'll be powerful to defeat any threat. But Batman scouts through the caves, finding all the magic users that have been captured, as well as Black Alice and the Helmet of Fate, which appears to be crackling with mystical energy. And Damian finds him. They fight. And then Mother Soul and the Devil Neja enter, and Neja goes for the Helmet of Fate. And as he's putting it on, Batman calls to Talia. Apparently this was his second time through the specific cave, and beforehand he had freed Talia, and she swoops down and kicks Neja, knocking the helmet off of him. It lands at Batman's feet, and Batman puts it on, and apparently it molds to the ears, so it's the Helmet of Fate with bat ears. But his first thought is to free Damian and let the helmet move the rest of his victims to where it feels they'd be safest. However, Pigsy prevents Alice from leaving, as she as her and Pigsy may be vital to the end game. But using the magic sword that's been siphoned into the helmet, Batman does what he can to fight Neja, while Talia and Robin take on Mother Soul. Talia knocks Mother Soul down a pit. Robin tries to stop her from prevent her fall, but Mother Soul lets go and falls into said pit. The fight between Batman and Neja continues. There's eventually an explosion of magical power as Neja crushes the helmet, and the shards end up in one of the Lazarus pits. And before Neja can kill Batman, however, Robin runs him through with a spear. And Neja fires off a blast of mystical energy, and Batman jumps in the way, taking the brunt himself, and seemingly dies. For the third time last year. But however, Neja's son arrives, King, King Fireball, looking to kill Neja just as Neja killed his own father. And Neja also killed King Fireball's actual parents. But there's a plan. Pigsy has an idea that perhaps Black House had siphoned the Lazarus pit or Lazarus energy into Batman and bring him back. It works, and they just, and Alice, Batman, Robin, and Talia escape as the Lazarus volcano explodes, and that is where the issue ends. Which brings us directly to our next book, and no, it's not Batman vs. Robin #5. That doesn't come out for another month and a half. No, really. Next, we've got Lazarus Planet Alpha, kicking off the supplemental story from Batman vs. Robin. As I understand it, also Lazarus Planet is supposed to kind of set the stage for certain things that are going to be occurring over the course of this year in DC Comics. So, yeah. Anyway, Black Alice is dealing with her trauma. Robin's flying Talia's jet while Talia does what she can to take care of Batman. There's a communique comes in from Supergirl. Planetary alert about supercharged weather conditions created by mysterious magical rain are blanketing the Earth, creating life-threatening damage with typhoons, tornadoes, and level 5 thunderstorms. And the rain's magical energy seems to be overloading technology in many areas, causing mechanical objects and conveyances to stop functioning. Meaning that, yes, the jet crashes. And they managed to land right by Blue Beetle, Blue Devil, Supergirl, Cyborg, Mary Marvel, Monkey Prince, and Power Girl, and Zatanna. But Robin does what he can to put everyone together. Everyone listens mainly because Batman said, hey, my son knows he's talking about, listen to him. But he suggests that Neja is too weak to possess either Superman or Supergirl, and that's why he's made a point of avoiding the Kryptonians. One of the teams arrives at the Tower of Fate, but so have some of presumably King Fireball's lackeys. Yep, King Fireball's lackeys. And Z's having trouble dealing with stopping some of the stopping them with her magic, as she usually would, because magic's got all haywire. In the Himalayas, Supergirl, Blue Devil, Batman, and Talia are headed towards an old League of Assassins base where they find Swamp Thing, Poison Ivy, and the Devil Neja. Monkey Prince talks with Black Alice, hoping to try and help her, trying to do what he can to help her, pull herself together. Heroes of the Tower of Fate are doing what they can against the resistance they're facing. But Ivy explains that her and Swamp Thing, once her and Swamp Thing determined that it was Lazarus that had fallen from the sky, they came there to learn more about how it was affecting the Green. And before that, she also explains to Ivy explains to Talia that Raish was an eco-terrorist as well. He consulted with Ivy at the Himalayan headquarters of the League of Assassins more than once. But back at the Tower of Fate, there's a massive explosion, and it turns out that all of the magic users are holed up there. Presumably, that's where the Helm sent them when Batman had them sent to where they feel safest. But everyone gets their various items back, and now the heroes have a fighting chance. However, something overtakes Batman, giving him a slightly more demonic look. And King Firebolt shows up at where Damien's at. And we have a backup story where Pigsy informs Monkey Prince that Monkey King and Nezha were frenemies. The main story takes place thousands of years ago. Monkey King and Nezha deal with King Bull Demon. During the fight, Nezha takes on the form that he currently has. Monkey King tries to get him to put the sash back on that was keeping him in check. And he does so. He also breaks a spear and gives the half of it to a young boy. And it turns out that Pigsy has the remainder of what's left of the previous Monkey King. This kind of sets up what's going to happen in Monkey Prince number 10, which is a tie-in to the story. That is where the issue ends. My big problem with this is that I don't like the idea of there being, right before the finale, a month long, almost 2 month long side story in different books. But it's not the first time DC's pulled something like this. So yeah. Moving on to our next book, we've got Batman Incorporated number 4. Where we left off, Ghostmaker's previous sidekick, Phantom One, had told Clown Hunter his story while the rest of Batman Incorporated were dealing with assassins coming after Ghostmaker's various teachers. We've got El Gaucho and one of the others in British Columbia, Batman of Japan and Grey Wolf in Suriname, Knight in Moscow. They're each fighting assassins who have come to kill various teachers. Avery, who taught Batman and Ghostmaker, the Art of Disguise, managed to escape while Knight was facing off against Fallen, I believe is her name. But Fallen takes Knight and Squire at Batman Incorporated headquarters. Ghostmaker arrives. Icon has informed him that Clown Hunter's tracker is back at headquarters. But it's in a box, and there's a Ghostmaker gets stabbed through by something missed. Black Mist stabs Ghostmaker. Before Clown Hunter and Phantom 1 show up, looking to go after Ghostmaker. Back in Suriname, and it seems that El Gaucho has one of the his partner managed to subdue their at least that's what they're dealing with. However, the one in Suriname has reinforcements arrive. In the form of Fallen and would seem afterwards they then go to British Columbia and rescue the one that El Gaucho is dealing with. But Black Mist gives her history, how she tried to be a Dublin-based Batman, and well, she was too young and too cocky, and to realize, to kind of keep an idea of what to know, basically to know what she didn't know. She ended up hospitalized, then in prison. And yeah, she got, and a lot of people in the prison, she either put there herself or she'd put someone close to them in there. So, but she built herself an exoskeleton, allowing her to walk again, and saw Ghostmaker turn on Phantom 1, nursed him back to health, and then they saw Ghost Hunter lauded as a hero in Gotham, and so they had to be stopped. And there they are. Phantom 1 tells Clown Hunter, instructs him to kill Ghostmaker so they can all be free. And that is where the issue ends. Sorry about the lack of names with the some of the other. Oh yes, the various assassins that Batman Incorporated are dealing with were revealed in the issue to be some of the other subjects of Lex Luthor's Build a Batman program. Kind of basically what he did with Abyss. Moving on to our next book, we've got I Am Batman number 17. Where we left off. Jace discovered that his mother is the woman who raised him is not actually his mother, though apparently his mother is in the clutches of the moral authority and being ransomed by them. So Lucius tells Jace what happened, Jason's happy. There's an argument, and he is kind of put in his place a little bit by his mom. Well, the woman who raised him. Opts to leave, but his little sister tries to talk him out of it, but yeah. Um, yeah, the Foxes are having a bit of a but Jace tries to let Hadia know what's going on, but he's carrying a lot of hurt and taking out on people that he shouldn't take it out on. Vol arrives at their HQ and finds Tiffany waiting on him, explaining she intends to go after leader of the Moral Authority, but she also gets in touch with Detective Chubb, basically saying, "Hey, give me just give me the same benefit of the doubt that you give Batman." So she makes it to the Moral Authority's hideout. About to go in through the skylight when Jace shows up. The two of them go in together, and they have to take on an army, but they both get brought down. Cops show up and are fired upon by members of the Moral Authority. However, before the leader of the Moral Authority can execute Batman, nobody shows up, looking very much like Hadia wearing one of the Question's masks and potentially being the Question's overcoat. And that is where the issue ends. They're definitely getting interesting. I think, as I recall, I remember reading that I Am Batman is actually due to be ending in the next few months. So maybe even next month. Guess we'll find out. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got the book that caused a bit of griping online from some of the usual talking heads. Joker, the Man Who Stopped Laughing, number 4. Where we left off, Joker had, after having been operated on in the hospital, had at least a suit taken on the doctor who helped him identity, was basic manners, taking his clothes and his ID card, and had stepped out, and well, the Gotham General Hospital was surrounded by cops. Red Hood was also there, but the doc goes back inside and ends up in a children's ward, talking to the kids a bit, just kind of being, him. Even reading a comic, which apparently has which includes this issue's backup story. But cops are searching the hospital room by room, floor by floor. Red Hood is as well. But Joker manages to knock out one of the member of the SWAT team and tries to escape. But Red Hood realizes that he is the Joker, and Joker basically knocks Red Hood into the pharmacy closet. And still disguised as a member of the SWAT team, ends up in one of the rooms of an old woman. Apparently he was looking for her. Though he could be easily pretending. The woman is found dead, not having been murdered, seeming just having died, but smiling. Our backup story, that's the one that got to be a little up in arms a bit. Joker's dealing with Zatanna's dealing with the Joker, and well, he tries to chat her up, and she casts a spell on him, and the next morning he wakes up and is apparently pregnant. Dr. Phosphorus helps with the delivery, though it appears to be a little Clayface. Jackanapes shoots Phosphorus, Gabby, and one of the other henchmen. Phosphorus and Gabby trying to shoot the baby Clayface. When Joker finds it, when they find baby Clayface, however, he's appears to have he's about kid size and looking a bit more like the Joker. But Joker comes up, finds Zatanna, and introduces her. To their son. And that is where the story ends. Yeah, that backup's a weird one. The series itself has been a bit of a weird one. So, but yeah. Moving on to our last book for the week. Yes, last book. Tim Drake, Robin, number 4. Where we left off, Robin was trying to figure out how all the clues he had fit together. But his landlord barges in and ends up seeing at least the printout clue, and does a bit of old school, and makes and causes Tim to realize it's probably a cipher. But there's a bit of the docks. There's some troubles at the docks, and eventually, while hanging out with Bernard, Tim figures it out. 4 of his books are missing. So, the 6 lines of numbers: 4, 7, 3, 67. But basically it's book number, page number, word number. They're apparently names. So, Robin enlists the aid of the Batgirls to help him. They manage to find a Wallace Sipe, but he appears to already be dead, much the same way as the others. But holographic goldfish attacks and holographic shark goldfish hybrid thing. Robin basically allows himself to be eaten because there's no white disc visible, because the white disc is inside the creature. So and it turns into a whole bunch of pearls. Then Robin gets a call from seemingly Bernard, but it's actually the killer who has Bernard captive. Apparently, he wants there are a few things that he wants to be the best villain Gotham's ever seen, and well, the best villain has to have a dapper costume, a killer name, and most of all, a worthy opponent. And that is where the issue ends. And that wraps up this week's roundup. Hopefully next week's won't be as long. But anyway, that's going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.